Welcome to another video, guys. Today I'm gonna be telling you all the different ways you could actually be getting yourself tons of shards each month for free. After watching this video, you're gonna have a much better understanding of what kind of resources you could actually be expecting out of the game. And this should also help you realize how free-to-play friendly Raid could actually be if you know how to manage your resources properly. So I hope the video helps you, and if it does, a like and a subscribe would really be appreciated. And don't forget you can actually download the game through my download link to start the game with a legendary and an epic champion. And if you use the promo code Supreme6 by the end of the month, you will also net yourself the free legendary Void champion Supreme Galek. Download code is in the description or in the pinned comment or from the QR code. Now let's get into it. So yeah, now we're gonna go through all of the different places you could be finding yourself extra shards, and I'm actually gonna do all of the math for you, so we can have a nice little lump sum at the end, and really see how much extra stuff you could be getting if you know where to look for it. Starting off with the obvious places, we can go and check out the daily login rewards, and these would be different depending on each month. Like when you first start, you're gonna get yourself, what, 3 ancients, couple of voids, definitely not bad. On your next month, you're gonna get, again, 3 ancients, 2 voids. After that, things get a little bit different, like here you even get a sacred shard. But as you see, it's very different, and now that we're actually 270 days in, things become basically standardized like this. So, I don't know, here I'd say we can bang out, let's say, a couple of Ancients and a couple of Voids, even though in this particular case, we can see this even gives a Primal. But if we have to put a general idea, I'd say a couple of Ancients and a couple of Voids each month kinda sums it up. It's not an exact science here, so the other sections are going to be a bit more exact, this one not so much. So let's just open up a nice little Excel sheet here, and I'm going to be updating this after we're done with each thing. So yeah, daily logins, let's say 2 Ancients, 2 Voids, even though as you saw you can even get a Sacred here and there, a Primal here and there, it is far from exact science. Moving down to the next thing, obviously the shop also gives you a bunch of ancient shards each month, and you get one of these every 7 days, so this is, again, 4 ancients each month. So we can go ahead and fill that in. You're not gonna get free voids like that or anything like that, so there's that too, but still. Maybe I can just put this here as a nice little place for it, so I don't have to keep on hiding and showing it. Moving down to the questicles, here we can see that your dailies don't give anything basically, but your weeklies are going to be giving you an ancient shard each 5 days. So here we can input 6 ancient shards each month. With monthlies, we can see we get 1 void and 1 sacred each month, and that's about it. That's about it for what you can expect out of quests. Now we can move down to dungeons, and here this is something a lot of people actually don't realize, but dungeons actually drop ancient shards. You've probably noticed here and there that you do get a reward as an ancient shard, but you probably don't know what the percentages is. And yeah, here you can actually notice, if I remove my fat head, you're gonna notice you actually have item drop chances of ancient shards. The percentages I think here are 0.5, so it's really gonna vary how much energy you've actually spent during the month. So 0.5, let's just average it out at 5 ancient shards per month. Really comes down to how hard or how low you farm dungeons yourself, but yeah, we can just slap a little 5 on it. Sounds about right. And you cannot be getting voids or anything else, so that's about it for the dungeon stuff. For the market, again, people might actually not notice. The market gives you exactly up to 5 ancient shards each month. So in 30 days, you could be expecting 5 ancient shards out of the market, especially if you have unlocked all of the slots, which I think is definitely worth it, especially nowadays with all of the cool stuff you could be seeing here. I have actually bought myself some 5 and 6 star legendary pieces out of the shop. Like, ain't nothing wrong with a good 6 star speed set, ain't nothing wrong with a Hex, Provoke, that kind of stuff, so definitely do check out the bigger, better items here. They are a little bit pricey, but if you're in need of that kind of gear, it might actually be pretty worth. Moving down to the bazaar, this is on the Arena Tag Team Arena shop. On the bazaar, on a monthly basis, you could be expecting 4 ancient shards. I think this refreshes each 7 days. I'm not sure they talk about it in this section or anything like that, but yeah. Once every 7 days you get to buy yourself an ancient shard. Once every 2 weeks you get to buy yourself a void shard. And once every month you also get to buy yourself a sacred shard. So we can actually slap in 4, 2, and 1 for these. And this is gonna give you not a bad amount of shards for doing your free freeze. Obviously, a lot of people have not reached gold, heck, even silver, but getting yourself at least 4 ancient shards each week, each month is a no-brainer for all of you. So yeah, I get it. I'm just trying to show you what you could be expecting if you're actually doing everything, and if you've actually progressed in the game nice and good. So yeah, if you're actually in gold, you will be able to buy yourself the void shard, the sacred shard each month. And you could check out my detailed tag team arena guide if you want to know how you can make it a little bit easier. Next up, we also have the arena as a potential source for shards, and this is a little bit of a hit and miss. A lot of you, even after your first or second month, should be already in gold, probably even in gold 5 if you are going really hard at it. It's really not hard to do well in casual arena and classic arena. And here, as you see, you have a shot at getting yourself a void or an ancient. And I don't know exactly what the drop rates here are, but from experience I can say I'm seeing about maybe 2 voids per month out of these. Like every other time I get a void shard, every other time I get an ancient shard, that kind of stuff. So I think it's reasonable to slap in two ancients and 2 voids here and call it a day. And next up we can talk about a little bit of live arena. Here I'm not going to be including the seasonal rewards we just got introduced or the general rewards. I'm going to be talking more about these shards you could be getting here, because you will be getting yourself a good amount of primals actually. I do my best to always get the 400 quartz out of live arena, so this is 4 extra primal shards you could be expecting out of a live arena like that, and nowadays it's definitely pretty worth doing it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but they are basically forcing this piece of content on us, so better get used to playing it or you're basically gonna be missing out on a lot of extra stuff. The Doom Tower is another excellent place for you to actually be getting a lot of extra shards. Here we can see it just resetted. So I hope you guys did your keys before they reset, because you actually could have gotten yourself an extra set of 10 keys here. And here, if you scroll through all of the rewards, you're gonna see even on normal, you're getting a void shard here once, and 1 more at the end. So there's 2 void shards for normal. And if you actually manage to also do hard, which is really not that hard, if you've played the game, let's say half a year, 1 year guaranteed, you should be able to clear Doom Tower if you know what you're doing. And here, if you scroll through, you're gonna see another void, 1 more, a sacred, another void, and another sacred. So from what we scrolled here, it's a grand total of 5 void shards and 2 sacred shards, right? I'm not missing anything, right? I think this is guaranteed each month. They don't really change the actual rewards here, so we can just slap in 5 voids here and 2 sacreds on a monthly basis. You get to do it once. The rotation is 4 weeks. Again, my body is in the way. So yeah, not a bad way to be farming all of these shards for free. After that, we can also talk about a little bit of the CVC, and I gotta say this was a little bit of a gray area for me, because I couldn't really find an amazing source to really show you what kind of rewards you could be expecting. But here we can notice there's a bunch of voids. On some other pictures you could even see some ancients, that kind of stuff. So you also even get a sacred if you manage to win a PR event. So I'm gonna round that out a little bit. Not exact science here, not gonna lie. If somebody in the comments knows exactly how much you could be expecting here, do let me know. But I'm just gonna put them like this, like about 4 ancients, about 6 voids, and even 5 extra voids if you win the PR, and 1 sacred if you win the PR. It's definitely far from the exact numbers here, but I think we are definitely in the ballpark. Like the sacred definitely is 1 per month if you manage to win the PR, and we're talking about tier 6 CVC PR, so definitely not easy, definitely not something to expect every time, but it is doable. So I'm still gonna include it just for the sake of this being a complete guide, but definitely don't expect to get 1 sacred each month out of a CVC, that's for sure. And as for the no PR rewards, these are basically times 2, because the no PR rewards you are getting even during a PR, so the 5 voids plus 1 sacred is only once per month, whereas these are 2 times per month. We can also talk about the clan shop. The clan shop is actually a good way for you to find yourself a little bit of extra voids. And yeah, right now we don't have a void, but if you click the item pool here, you could actually see what you could be expecting out of the shop, and there's some pretty nice rewards, but as you see it in terms of shards, it's only void shards, and we're talking about clans that have actually unlocked this spot right here. So not every clan is actually going to be able to provide you with void shards, but this is basically a mid-range level. I don't know exactly what kind of clan level this thing requires, but it wasn't super high if I remember correctly. So most of you should have access to, I'd say, a couple of voids each month. It's probably not exact science again, but something along those ballparks, I'd say. And now we're gonna move down to the clan boss, which is where the real money is at. Like, the clan boss rewards, you're gonna come to learn, are super, super important, and I'm actually gonna break down all of the math here for you, so you know exactly what you could be expecting. I myself am one-keying all of the from hard clan boss up to Ultra Nightmare, so I do my best to actually get myself all 4 chests each day. It does take a little bit of planning, a little bit of awkward hours, but I'm kind of an idiot like that, so I try to maximize, min-maxing and all of that nonsense. And here we can see what's in the Ultra Nightmare clan. Not bad, getting myself a Lego skill book, always love to see that. Some sacreds, some shards, and here we got a little bit of an ancient shards. Not the best we could have gotten, but still not that bad. Let's see what the Nightmare gives. Another ancient, ain't nothing wrong with that. Another ancient, so just from today, I'm getting myself, so far, 3 ancient shards. Look at that, a void. Amazing. Not much here, and here, again, we could get a very lucky void, but odds are actually super slim, as I'm gonna show you right now. And yeah, all around you saw, just from today, I got myself 1 void and 3 ancients. Definitely not the worst outcome in the world. And some days you're even gonna get yourself 2 sacred shards if you're lucky. But the math actually pans out to this. Let's actually break down the math. I spent a little bit too much time doing this, not gonna lie. Here's my little Excel sheet. Here I did the math on the whole thing. Let me make it a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to read. Here it is. So yeah, here are the odds of you actually getting a shard from a clan boss. If you're doing the easy clan boss, you only have 2.51 chance of getting a shard. So, and the only shard you could get here would be an ancient. If you're doing normal clan boss, we're talking about the last reward, by the way. If you're doing the normal clan boss and you get the max chest rewards, you're gonna have a almost 3% chance of getting a shard, and 2% chance of that shard being an ancient, or 1% of that shard being a void. So on and so forth. We go down to Ultra Nightmare, and we can see you have 82% chance of getting a shard from the clan boss each time you get a reward. So if you actually defeat the Ultra Nightmare clan boss as a clan, you're gonna get these rewards twice. So you're gonna have twice the chance of getting 82% chance of opening a shard, and out of those, 50% of the time it's gonna be an ancient, 18% it's gonna be a void, and 13% it's gonna be a sacred. And what this pans out to in a month, times 60, because if you're doing this and your clan defeats it, you're gonna be getting this chance twice. We can see that in a month you're gonna be expecting around 30 ancient shards just from Ultra Nightmare alone. 11 voids just from Ultra Nightmare alone, and over 8 sacreds just from Ultra Nightmare alone. Most people will be doing these 3, so these also stack up. In my case, it's actually these 4 hard ones. So I can be expecting over 50 ancient shards out of my clan bosses, almost 15 voids, almost 12 sacreds. Not bad at all, I can tell you that much. And this is by far the biggest source of shards for free you could be getting, so this is why I'm telling you guys it's super important to get your clan boss teams together as fast as you can. Like, do what you can to be able to farm even 4-key Ultra Nightmare as soon as you can would be amazing for you. I know it's not super easy, maybe I'm gonna give a quick guide about this piece of content soon. For now, I myself even am not that good at doing clan boss. I basically just brute force it at this point. It's not exactly hard once you get some pretty stacked champions, but for me, Geomancer was actually the reason why I was able to do this a lot easier. And after that, opening this Androck Mythical definitely helped big time, and now my quick battles are always above 100, so that's an absolute game changer. So yeah, do what you can to get your team for clan boss as soon as you can. Plenty of options to make yourself a unkillable team, all that kind of nonsense, so do what you can to get that thing done. So moving back to the normal sheet, we can copy all of these numbers over here, and here's what we have again. Okay, here we go. But obviously you're not going to be doing all of these clan bosses, even though honestly the normal and hard CBs are pretty negligible, so I'm just going to leave them all in here, just for the sake of them being visible. But you should be expecting the ones I already showed you, the 50 Ancients, the 15 Voids, and the 12 Sacreds. It's a ballpark. It's not guaranteed that you're going to be getting 12 Sacred each month, but if you, let's say, get 5 Sacreds one month, you could be expecting 20 Sacreds on the next month. It's basically going to average out at some point, hopefully, unless you're giga unlucky, but usually statistics don't work that way. And moving down to Hydra, here we can actually see the rewards from Hydra themselves don't really give you any type of shards, but if you move down to the Hydra Clash, you could see that if you actually manage to win the Hydra Clash, you're going to be getting yourself 100 plus quartz, so that's 1 primal for you. If you're on second spot, you're still getting almost 100. On third spot, you still could get 100, and yeah, basically it's going to come down to you doing a lot of damage though, so this is not going to apply for everybody. But still, it's actually reasonable to expect about 2 primal shards each month out of this. For me, it's more along the lines of maybe 3, something along those lines. But it really comes down to if you actually win the Hydra Clash, which is easier said than done, especially on the higher level clashes, but still definitely doable. Let me just collect all of these rewards real quick out of the thing. Love to see me some mythical rings and such. Alrighty, so yeah, Hydra is also actually a place you could be expecting a few primals here and there. And lastly, we have tournaments and events, and this is where things go really crazy. Like here, it's anyone's guess how much you could be getting out of each. But you can definitely expect plenty of Ancients. Like for instance, this champion training tournament, it has straight up reward of an Ancient. It has almost a primal in here. And even on the tournament stages, you could also see sometimes Ancients as rewards here. So there's that. Classic Arena could be giving you an Ancient shard here and there. In this case, no. We only have gems and such, but sometimes you do have Ancient shards on the top spots. So there's that. Dungeons usually have an Ancient shard on the top 5 spots, which is not really advisable. I'd much rather get me the gems in most cases, if we gotta be completely honest, but you still get it. You could actually expect to have an Ancient shard here and there. And on events, things can go even crazier than that. Right now on this one, we can see a little bit of quartz, a little bit of Ancient. Sometimes you even get a void as the last rewards. On Summon Rush, you usually don't expect to see actual shards here, even though they did do that from time to time. So it still could be a potential to find shards as rewards. Gear Enhancement usually gives an Ancient shard, so on and so forth. So we can give a very broad judgment here for something like 20 Ancients. That's literally on the low side. 5 Voids, honestly, maybe it's a little bit too high. Let's call it 2 Voids, a couple of Primals. Sometimes you even get Sacreds like this, by the way, like Titan events, card flipping events, that kind of stuff, but it's really anyone's guess what type of event or tournament we're going to be seeing, so it's really hard to pinpoint exactly how much of shards you could be expecting out of these. So yeah, this I think sums up all of the ways you could be getting reliable free shards each month. There are also a few other places we could be talking about, like let's say campaign rewards give you shards, but that's not on a monthly basis. That's only going to happen once, so that's why I'm not going to be talking about it too much. Live Arena rewards also give you sacred shards, a few sacred shards actually. Referral programs also give you a bunch of sacred and void shards, but that's ain't nobody got time for that. Well, this idiot did, but let's not talk about that now, shall we? Missions as well could give you a bunch of sacred shards. Like here we can see there was a reward. Marius, they also gave rewards. Arbiter missions also gave sacreds. Again, things that only happen once, so no point in actually including it in a video like this. Centranos gives you shards like that. The challenges also give you a few shards here and there as a one-time reward. Technically, talking about Centranos, we could include the Remnant summons as potential shards, but that's not exactly a shard. So we're not going to be including it in here, but yeah, you can definitely expect like 1, maybe even 2 Remnant summons each month out of these, so there's that too, but they're not exactly shards. They're not counting towards the shard events. They do count towards champion chase, but still not exactly a shard. So let's just draw the line here and see what the auto sums are going to be looking like. And the grand total comes down to above 80 ancient shards, over 40 void shards, around 8 primals, could be higher, could be lower, depending how well you do on the Hydra, and depending how many you get from tournaments and such, so around 10, let's say, and over 15 sacred shards, and we're talking about each month. So all around pretty good stuff, guys, all around pretty good stuff. So you can definitely be always completing fusions as soon as you get your account rolling, as soon as you actually manage to start getting your clan boss done. Like, that is going to be the biggest early piece of content you really need to tackle in order to become very efficient, very free to play. That kind of stuff is going to be integral for you to actually be able to do your clan boss daily. The minimum you need to really focus on is 2 or 3 keying the Ultra Nightmare and 1 keying Nightmare. Those would be the first 2 pieces of content you really need to master, so you can really unlock insane amounts of shards each month for free. And if you don't have time for that, well, there's always the shop with some amazing offers and amazing, not so amazing offers from time to time. Yeah, this offer, for instance, is not that bad. This one is pretty okay, that kind of stuff. But obviously here we're talking about shards obtained for free. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like and subscribe would really be appreciated. Like, this video took a little bit longer than I was hoping it to take. It was a lot of math, a lot of research, and a lot more Excel than I'm supposed to be doing in today's day and age, but yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget, you can also download the game from my download link if you want to start Raid the right way with a bunch of extra champions for free. Thanks for watching. I'm Crystal5, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.